We've been doing movie nights for
years.
So Gen Xer and
a Gen Z. Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
And he crashes them.
As you do.
It's like, I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk.
This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew.
And we have returned!
Oh, man, that was a rough week. I mean, rough, but not necessarily bad.
Busy.
But yes, really busy. So, since, Wednesday, we have been full speed ahead, which part of that is actually why last week's podcast was a touch late. I wasn't sure if we were going to talk about things then or now or what. Mm-hmm. So we started off with our advanced screening of
Fantastic
Four First Steps. Yeah.
You literally texted me in the middle of my 5-minute break at work. I saw it and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm not going to Walmart today after
that's
work.
Because I was literally sitting in the back room, in the server room, waiting for tech support to come on the line and oh, okay, we better get this done. We then ran from there. We had Thursday off kind of ish, but Friday is straight out to Canton. I think that's going to be the thrust of our conversation because it was a busy weekend. I had Immortal Fest on Saturday, which is a heavy metal music festival, and got to do my meet and greet with Saint. Got to see White Cross, which they actually did a completely different set than they did with Petra.
Oh.
So a lot more classic stuff. That was so much more fun. And my buddy Mike went with me. And but I was already kind of dragging because Versailles, Ohio is down and to the left. So it's past Columbus, but almost over into Indiana. It's a long drive. And I'm doing that after Friday, which Friday was our first year going to Canton Anime Fest at the Canton Palace Theater.
Which was it was the most random thing ever. But oh my gosh.
It was a random day.
This was a lot better than I was expecting.
You know what? Now, the more I think about it, the more I think this show has been on my radar before, but ages ago. Before you were really starting to get into conventions. And, I mean, at the time, I'm guessing, but I think at the time when I saw it, I was doing more stuff with, the meet and greets, meeting my heroes and getting autographs and stuff like that. And into a little bit getting into the cosplay community and doing a lot more costume contests. And Anime Fest is not conducive to either of those.
No,
and also
really
I was doing
not.
maybe one anime convention a year.
Yeah.
I would usually do either ZipCon or Shinbuku-con. I miss Shinbuku-con. Literally right down the street. I could walk if I really wanted to.
Really? That close to us?
Really that close to us. There's an old hotel that we will drive past on their way to 90. And the hotel's closed. So that was a fun one. But I wasn't doing a lot of anime conventions because even at 39, it felt weird. Mm-hmm. I felt like I might be just a little bit too old to really fit in here. It's helped a whole lot to have a 17, 18-year-old girl with me.
The benefits.
It really is because everybody's, okay, he's a dad. He's not a creeper. It's just one of the things that as a guy, especially as a Gen X guy, you think about. So I'd probably skipped Anime Fest before. Because really, this isn't a convention, is it?
No, it's a movie marathon. We sat and watched movies all day, which is unlike you, who you usually do this a lot at like Cinema Wasteland, I've never gone to a convention that's been just purely movies.
Yes. What do you think of that? How was that?
I love and hate it. How do I even say this? I don't like just sitting and doing nothing for hours upon hours, just sitting and watching a movie, because it's hard to find silent fidgets, and I have a hard time sitting still for a while. Even sitting in the chair right now as we're recording this, I'm fidgeting with something in my hand, because I can't just sit down and do nothing for a while unless it's something I'm really into, which is different. But for half of these stuff, I was bored with some of these movies. With one of them, I think I blacked out for like 10
right,
15
and you
minutes.
got no connection to it, so that made sense.
Yeah.
But the other thing, because I was talking with Mike as we were driving the endless drive down to Versailles, and his observation was, well, part of it is you haven't had, I don't know what else to call it, the training, the conditioning. Like, they call it a movie marathon for a reason.
Yeah.
So I will go to 12 Hours of Terror and sit through 7 horror movies.
I can never.
Anime Fest is 4 anime movies, and it's a variety.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so that's new. That's different. And I'm good, actually, with that for a day. I'm not sure if I could do multiple days.
Yeah, I had actually bought tickets to go both days since I got like the weekend pass that they had. But I'll get into more of that later. But like,
there was a little bit of Montezuma's Revenge. You were down.
I was miserable. So I didn't actually end up going the second day, which is kind of a shame because that's when they were doing all of their events and stuff.
Yeah, but, and I was hoping you would because we went on Friday.
Yeah.
So Friday's like the first day, and we showed up at just a little bit after noon, which means that like normal people like me, and I use that phrase.
Yeah, we use that very sparingly.
Are still in work.
Yeah.
But there wasn't a ton of people there.
Yeah, I would say at the most, including vendors, I didn't see more than 50. Probably less than that, if I'm honest.
And I really wonder if Saturday's more.
Yeah.
And I think if we go back, I'd love to try a Saturday to see what that's like.
Yeah, like I didn't end up going the second day just because I'd already seen half the movies that they're playing. You had one of them or a similar one at home, and I can watch Pokemon at home. I don't really need to drive all the way up there if I'm feeling miserable.
On the other hand, you kind of did that.
Yeah, I actually, and I want to talk about this, so I'm going to interrupt you here.
Yes, jump into that.
I set up my own movie night. I went to the dollar store, I picked up some snacks. I actually found one of the same, like, strawberry chew bite things that they were selling there. I found them at the dollar store. So I bought one of those. I got myself some snacks. I stopped at GameStop on my way over just because it was right there. I came back home. I put on Batman Ninja. I was like watching through this because you were on your drive and I was texting you and
yes.
I was like,
as I'm driving.
Yeah, I was like, you didn't tell me we'd be going into ancient Japan. I was not expecting to go back in time because anybody that knows me knows that I love my ancient Japan. I love that in anime. I love it in shows. I love that era. So I was like, oh, this is great. I am loving every second of this. They literally did scenes where it's like an oil painting. Like, that's so cool.
Seriously, how good. That movie is so much better than it has any right to be.
I know, right? It felt like I was in a video game, but not quite in a video game because it still had like a very much anime style to it. And I was loving it. I was sitting on the couch by myself because everybody was either at work or was out, and I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
And it's such it fits right in with that theme, with that mood. So you grab that, you grab what other ones you could find.
I watched through what was it called? Spy X Family, Code White. That I watched through it again. Mom was actually in the room while I was going through that, and she was like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "This is one of the best anime movies of all time."
It kind of is. I mean, Spy X Family in general is just...
It's so much fun. We can't wait for season 3.
Yep. And you know, I've done this before myself because I've had years where, okay, I can't afford to go out to Monster Bash. I cannot swing the trip to Mars, Pennsylvania, or I'm only going to be able to afford one day of Cinema Wasteland. What are you showing? Okay, White Zombie, I can find that. Mutant, let me see what I can do. That one's in my library, that one's in my library. So I'm amused that you kind of did the same thing that I did. We're missing the socialization, and we're missing the vendor's room, but to be fair, that vendor's room, we exhausted it pretty early on.
Yeah, I mean, they had a lot of really cool stuff in there, but it was tiny.
Yes, well, I mean, it's the balcony, basically. So this is an old classic theater. It's gorgeous. Beautiful. I mean, it is so. The facade around the stage and over the sides actually comes out a little bit, so you can see behind it, so that they could have lights shooting up and projectors. And literally, the ceiling.
Oh my God, it's literally a night sky. It was beautiful.
It may as well be Hogwarts. It is exactly.
Literally, we were watching Howl's Moving Castle because that was the last movie of the night. Literally, the sky fit in so perfectly. I felt like when I was watching it, no joke, I felt like I was outside.
Yes.
Legitimately.
The screen, it's like the screen extends.
Exactly.
There's clouds projected onto that
There's like
ceiling.
stars in the sky. Like, it's
I
was
beautiful.
so impressed.
I don't know how I've never been to this theater before. Because I know Monster Bash does a film festival out there as well. I don't know how I've never made it out there before. I just haven't. And now that I have, it's,
oh, man.
Let's talk a little bit about, too, like some of the other movies.
We watched,
Summer Wars.
Summer Wars, yes. That one was surprisingly good.
That's probably the most notable. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's
and we missed the first 14 minutes because we were a little late.
Yeah, we were running late getting inside.
We got delayed. I forgot my gloves, and we had to stop for this, and we had to stop for that. I have to get gas.
We had to stop at the two-story McDonald's.
Yes. We'll talk about side quests in a little bit here, too.
Just a way to amp up the audience.
But Summer Wars. So we've got, imagine Facebook or Twitter or something like that with a game component that the entire world is jacked into a VR kind of reality that just everybody's a part of it.
Just assume like Meta or something like that with like the AI that is very much included in everything.
Now, so that's one part. But then there's also, we've got a young woman who's heading home for her grandmother's 90th, or great-grandmother's 90th birthday. The whole family's coming. Everybody's showing up. It's a big event. And Granny's been her health's been a little sketchy, and so she's trying to give her hope. You've got to hang on until you can meet my fiancé, right?
Yeah!
Well, she doesn't have a fiancé.
Oh!
So she...
Oh, no!
At random, she grabs one of the guys that's still at school because he got a job with this social media. Hey, anybody looking for a summer job? Because I need somebody to come to me.
That's amazing.
I will give up my summer job with this social media Oz, and I will go with you.
Oh, what?
She doesn't even spring it on him until they actually get there. So she tells him what the job is about 5 minutes before we start the movie. I did go back and I found those first 14 minutes.
Oh, no!
Now, by the time we get there, the family's starting to show up.
We're all, like, sitting in, like, the ancient house.
And one of the uncles has brought squid.
Yeah.
Lots of squid. Lots and lots of squid. So we were kind of confused coming in. Okay,
I was so confused.
Is this a romance? Is this a family drama?
Yeah, I was
is
like,
this an AI weird thing?
Like, what? I was. Like,
is this a Matrix movie? Is this a government espionage movie? Because I mean, it goes all over the place, everywhere. Yeah. We discover the black sheep of the family has also shown up for this birthday party.
Yay! Hooray! Except for not hooray, because
he's responsible for the malicious AI that's taking over the social media.
He built it, and then he sold it to the government, which is the worst idea ever.
And it goes nuts. It's causing problems around.
It's like stealing accounts. It's like
causing gridlock. Like, they're trapped there. Even if they wanted to get out of this remote location, they can't because the streets are messed up with all this traffic lights and accidents.
And it's like all these facilities that run on Oz are all suddenly being shut down. They don't have GPS. They don't have access to like a lot of online health stuff.
And then it's going to destroy the nuclear reactors in the area and
and
kill
it
everybody.
turns them on everybody. And it's like, what?
In the meantime, we're still dealing with the family dynamics and the matriarch and how do you deal with her. And man, she knows everybody. I hope she doesn't die.
Oh, never mind. She died.
And
Crap.
boyfriend, girlfriend stuff and pining for her, and it's just...
And like we get this whole funny scene where they're like they bring in this like giant computer and they hide it in one of the back rooms and they're like working on creating a powerful enough computer in order to fight
and to cool
AI.
it down, we have these huge
blocks
cakes of ice.
And then one of them takes the ice and puts them next to Grandma so that she doesn't rot. And I'm like, okay.
At which point the computer overloads. It overheats.
It's just what?
The whole thing is wild, and all of these disparate elements.
But it's so much fun though. Like.
And it all works. It all jumbles together into this stew. And by the end, we were so committed.
I know, right?
I mean, this is what they let off with, too. I mean, this could have been the end of the night. Because this was so good. This was excellent.
Like, I had debated going out and leaving this movie to go and check out what I got in my goodie bag, but we were so into it, I was like, no, I can't leave at this point.
It's like every time you want to, it's like, oh, okay, 5 more minutes. And then, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go in a minute. Oh.
Yeah, I could
I'm
bring
shifting
myself
in
to
there.
leave.
I'm shifting in there, dying to get out of my costume because it's a movie theater. This is not conducive to armored costumes I went simple. I went with Gran Torino from My Hero, but that big belt, it kept popping on me, and it's big, and it's digging in my back, and the capes, and I can't wear the mask while I'm watching. Man, but it's like, no, I can't leave.
Yeah.
I can't. I have to see how this thing grabs you, and just, it's so much bigger than anything we can describe here.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't dealing with the same problems with you costume-wise. I had brought out a simpler Hanji.
Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I put my hair up. I was wearing the jacket. I was having trouble with that jacket though because I was getting so hot in that theater and I had to keep taking it off. But also I was using all the pockets in it because I didn't want to carry a bag around because it would literally just sit by my feet the whole time and I didn't want to have to deal with carrying it around when I leave the theater every time. But seriously, check out Summer Wars. I don't know where it's at, but check it out.
You can find it. You can find it around. I mean, it's not a new movie.
I wonder if they have a dubbed version of that. Because all the movies that we watched, they were all subtitled.
Yes, and that's one of her pet peeves.
I don't like subtitles.
I'll tell you what, though. While we were watching Howl's Moving Castle, there's long stretches of Howl's Moving Castle where nobody talks at all. And I'm so into it that while they are talking, it's like I'm reading it and it just feels natural. And then we go over these long periods where there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
And then somebody talks again. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's right. This isn't in English. And,
yeah, it's like you're reading it in your head enough that it's like, oh, I'm not even realizing it.
And it drops you off. Howl's Moving Castle is a good one to end it with, too, because it's a classic. We've seen it before.
Yes, but as we were watching through, I mean, I a while back, I went through and I read a portion of the book that it's based on. Mm-hmm. And I was pointing stuff out to you as we're kind of going along, like fun facts about her sisters or like stuff about like the demons and everything like that. And I found I need to grab that book and like finish reading it. I might actually grab it since tomorrow's my day off and finish the book off. But the thing I was noticing as we're watching, I'm noticing a lot more details because I'm forced to read the subtitles on it.
Yeah. It really does. It focuses your attention.
I'm recognizing more details from Calcifer. I'm seeing more details in the facial expressions. I never watched that. I guess I'm starting to realize I never watched that closely.
That's the thing, though. It's not just your generation. We're watching it, but we have our phone in our hand. Or I have the IMDb up. Or we might be talking at home.
Yeah.
So subtitles actually do force that attention, and you will get you get different performances even with the voice as well.
Yeah.
And we're used to the voices in Howl's Moving Castle.
So
this gives us a little something different.
We switched from the deep voice of Calcifer to this high-pitched demonic and I'm just sitting here it fits. I think I prefer deep-voiced Calcifer. But okay, I am totally for this demon goblin voice.
So we're going to quickly skim over. There was a Gundam one where and I have friends who are into Mobile Suit Gundam. We're actually going through Robotech right now.
Yeah.
So the genre's familiar. This is one I haven't seen before. Gundam QUUUX. And basically you've got some cast-off ones, and we're really getting into, civilians are buying these hot rods and fighting street racing.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun, especially in that we've got a couple of high school girls, one's a thief and one's got some natural talent on it, and watching them and watching that whole thing was a whole lot of fun. And it was a nice kind of, it's nice to finally see these things on screen.
Yeah.
But if you're not initiated, then it lost you.
Yeah, I was already really tired because, like we said, I have no stamina when it comes to watching a ton of movies. But, I blacked out for a good, 15 minutes of that. I missed most of the beginning because I was walking around the dealer's room. Mm-hmm. And I was just that movie, I had no interest in. I was bored out of my mind.
I'll admit, I'll usually fall asleep for about half an hour, 45 minutes during 12 Hours of Terror. So, no, I get it. There was one that you wanted to see after it, though.
Yes, the Jujutsu Kaisen movie. I have heard a lot about this anime, and I'd been kind of curious about it for a while, but it never struck me as something that I'd find particularly interesting. This movie, it was too long, but
it has the same problem that the Gundam movie did. That it's really just it's a compilation of a bunch of episodes,
and
so you don't get a proper ending. And every time that this one should have ended,
it just kept going. But the thing is that
it's a crash course on the series. That's really what it is.
You see, what confused me here is that aside from one of those, and I could be wrong, none of those characters are main cast in the anime.
Really?
Yeah, let me pull up a picture. This is the cast of the original. Yeah, he's still in it.
Yeah, him.
And I was going to say, I'm assuming that's maybe her daughter, but that's no one from the main cast.
Yeah, that's interesting.
This is what we watched, but...
Yeah, Hidden Inventory, Premature Death.
I'm assuming it's a prequel, I think?
But then again, you know what, this is really... I mentioned this to you, too. It used to be... with a lot of anime conventions, and especially the ones that I'd go to, they'd be showing bits and pieces in the movie rooms, and so you got to sample things.
That's how we discovered Seven Seeds.
Right.
Watch it on Netflix. It's really good.
So that's what I'm liking here. It's a curated selection of movies that I don't know if I need to see or not, but it's a great way to dip your toe into it and to spend some time in the genre.
Yeah.
And we probably spent as much time as possible, again, in that balcony, going through the dealer's room. One of the things I always like to do at anime conventions is find Japanese snacks.
Oh, yeah, you were all in on that.
I was loading up on that instead of popcorn. And I probably spent as much as a normal person would on popcorn, but it works better for me. I liked that better. I thought that was a great little thing to have.
Yeah, I grabbed those, strawberry chew things, and those were really good.
They had a lot of artists up there. We actually found an Apothecary Diary sticker for you.
Yes, it's on my laptop now. I put it on my laptop. I removed one of my moth stickers, but it's on my laptop now. I found the most amazing stand that I've ever seen. There was this lady, it's Wasabi Does Art, I think, is her tag. She was doing Japanese calligraphy, and I passed by their table initially, and I was like, whoa. And then I saw that she had keychains, and I was like, oh. And I was like, do you do custom keychains? And she's like, yes, absolutely. And I'm like, yes. So I gave her $12 and she made me a custom keychain with my name written in Japanese kanji, which was so cool. I actually showed it to my manager today and she found it really, really cool.
It's gorgeous. And
it's so pretty.
So it's like there wasn't a lot of dealers, but they had some good ones.
While I was actually walking around the dealer's room, because I ended up exploring that a lot in between some of the movies, I came across this one lady who had like some really cool prints, and I was like, I love your Kiki print. And we kind of went back and forth, and I was able to get a really nice like Kiki's Delivery Service print that's now on my wall. I also stopped by because one of them had a gacha. They had like a mystery thing. So I gave her $5 and I got this beautiful, they call it a moth prince. And he is on my wall right now. I absolutely adore him. I was really excited about that. Mm-hmm. Downstairs, when we were exploring, because I have my work, so I work at Burger King, as a lot of you guys probably know. Right now, we're doing Naruto as our toys, and I found this, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is the perfect opportunity to talk with the other nerds. So I am like looking around for like specifically bows, because I've realized I can wear bows at work and not get in trouble. So what kind of nerdy bows can I find? I found a calcifer bow, was the only real one that would have worked. So I grabbed that, and I actually wore that to work today. Nobody knew what it is because apparently no one knows what Studio Ghibli is at my work, which is really sad. But I was trying to find stuff to just talk with the other nerds, but yeah, they had a lot of really interesting stuff in the dealer's room. There was even one lady that had like handmade keychains as well.
Yeah. They had games up there as well. So a bunch of like little retro consoles.
Yeah, like a ton of little ones shoved in a tiny room.
Some of the one-up arcade cabinets, the ones that are like about half as big as they should be. But there was probably a good 12, 16 games scattered around that area up there, which is cool. That's something to do and something to play around with. And it's a nice way of putting together a game room, because that's a thing at anime. Across the street, they were also doing other stuff. I wish it wasn't across the street for like the Pokemon tournaments, Pokemon Go, and the Mario Kart tournaments and all that stuff. Because if I got to leave the building, I don't want to leave the building. I don't want to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're hoping they expand next year, because they're talking about expanding the theater. Mm-hmm. And we'll see what happens, because we're kind of looking at this as maybe a day next year again.
Yeah.
There was one other thing we didn't talk about with the anime convention. We didn't talk about side quests.
We did go on a lot of side quests. We had an adventure.
And that's important, to let things take you where you're going to go. Like even when I headed out to Immortal Fest with Mike, we're heading downtown. We're heading down south, and we're in Lima, Ohio. And he's like, you know what? If we're going to pass through here, why don't we go to Quippy Burger? And I have no idea what that is. And it's this weird little cafeteria-style hamburger joint. If you've ever seen a Quippy doll, like the prizes that they'd hand, a little creepy baby doll. Well, they've got a giant one in there
I didn't
that just stares at you while you...
No, you showed me pictures of this, and I did not like them.
And it's one of those fun things. Always trust the side quests.
Yeah!
So, since we were heading to Canton, and I know the route to Canton takes us right past Independence, and we literally go past the Rockside Road exit. I'm like, you know what? We've driven past this a couple times on the way to movies and stuff. I'm finally going to take you to the fancy McDonald's.
Yeah, the two-story one. You always point it out to me when we're driving past, and I actually got an amazing recording of my reaction.
Everybody should look up the fancy. You're hearing fancy McDonald's, and you don't understand.
No, you're not going to understand unless you go there or see it. We literally bumped into two people from I think they were from Georgia or something.
Yeah. Look up the McDonald's on Rockside Road in Independence, Ohio, and it's pretty. It looks like a little mansion.
Exactly.
They used to have a chandelier in there, and now they've replaced it with just hanging lights.
And I see that, and I'm like, what?
We went up to the second floor to eat, and I mean, we're just getting Happy Meals, but just to go and try this out.
Sit there, because like I said, we've passed by that place so many times, and I was so excited to be going inside there.
The side quests are just fun, and then on our way out, we actually found really good parking in Canton, and I looked around and I'm like, oh wait, I just did some work out here a month ago. I know where we are. So I'm like, you need to take a walk with me.
Yeah, as we're like heading out to leave, I walk over to the side, and what do I see?
Giant building.
I see tentacles coming out of the building.
Giant building with tentacles coming out of it. Yeah. I'd sent you photos of this and like, no.
Yes, you did send me pictures of it.
The photos don't do it justice.
No, we literally walked over there and I got pictures in front of it. Like, I don't even have words for how weird that was.
I'm not talking like a couple of 3 or 4 foot inflatable octopus arms.
No, they were like full on like concrete maybe, or
I don't even know what these are made out of.
They're so high up above our heads we can't really tell.
They're coming out of second-story windows and going past the roof. They extend into the sky.
On the side of the building, we see like a picture of like this giant eyeball monster. So like that's probably what's invading the building, I'd assume.
So side quests, especially with conventions, always trust the side quests. Never be afraid. One of my favorite memories, actually, from taking you and your sister to Monster Bash is we got lost on the way out, and all of a sudden, giant polar bear.
Okay then. Hello there.
Ice cream stand. We found this bizarre ice cream stand. Like, we are going there. We are doing this.
That was fun. I remember being really excited about that when I was a kid.
So, yes, always trust the side quests. So, there's actually there's one other thing I need to kind of go into. After that, we need to talk about How to Train Your Dragon. Wanted to give you an update, actually.
Yes, you were teasing me about this during our TV night tonight.
So, I finished the How to Train Your Dragon books today.
Okay.
I finished number 12. Seriously, you heard how surprised I was that there's 12 of these things. I still can't believe there's 12 of these things. So, one of the things I found really interesting about these, all right, I did go back and look at the dates. So, the first movie, the original DreamWorks movie, is 2010.
Yeah.
So we're at about book 7 by then. We are dead center. She's already halfway through the series, and she is doing about one a year.
Okay.
The TV series will go from 2012 through 2018 sporadically, and part 2 is right in the middle of that, around 2014. She goes all the way through to like 2015, I think. Yeah, again, 12 books, one a year, although she releases 2 in 2013 and then the big finale in 2015. So it still averages out to that. So I know where we're at. I mentioned that to you, though, that this reminds me a lot of Harry Potter in that the first 3 books are light fun, funny names, exploring the world. 4 starts to get a little darker and a little more serious. Mm-hmm. And at 5, it's the end of the world. And continues to get more dire until we end that series.
Yeah.
Weird. How to Train Your Dragon follows that same trajectory. So the first 8 books are light fun and silly names and funny stuff. And then suddenly at part 9, things get dark and start turning serious. To the extent where the author actually puts a preface in there. I know some of you might be a little surprised at where this goes. You just got to follow the story. The story sometimes determines that, not me. She literally puts in a disclaimer. Interesting other things though too. Like by the time we hit book 10, Hiccup is on the run. He's outcast.
Yeah.
And the world is ending, and it's literally Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. But then by the time we get to 12, even Hiccup's best friend, Fishlegs. So that's the chubby boy in the cartoons. He's still in here. He's skinnier here with glasses. And he's he has a pivotal role to play, and it turns out he's a much more important figure than anybody realized, much like Neville Longbottom was.
Oh man, they're really pulling that card?
I mean, it is that closely related, because we've had that discussion in Harry Potter that I genuinely believe Neville actually was supposed to be the chosen one, and the only reason Harry was is because Voldemort chose him. It could have gone either way. I would have loved to have seen at the end of Deathly Hallows Neville be the one to like thrust the sword in Voldemort's heart. I would have loved to have seen him have that, because that would have been a great twist. That's not where the story led Rowling. Just like Cressida Cowell was being led in a very different direction here. There's some brilliant aspects as well, because she realizes when things start getting serious, there's a question that she always had. If dragons were real back then, what happened to them? And she literally says, I'm not sure I want to keep going, because I have to answer this question, and I am terrified of the answer. And it looks like it's a bad answer towards the end. I am going to spoil this because the book is 10 years old, and most of you have seen the films, which bear no resemblance.
You got your warning.
So what happens is, as mankind evolves and as things changed, Hiccup brought peace between the dragons and the humans, but they could see that it wasn't quite going to last. And as Hiccup got older and older and older, they started to vanish, hide, go just a little out of their way. The great ferocious one was hibernating until another time when maybe humans were extinct. And the others just started to migrate away from people. And so Hiccup decided to protect the dragons. He'd commission the poets and the writers to start turning them into myths.
Oh, that's so cool.
So they'd just be stories. Just like this book. And this book is part of that tradition of making dragons stories to protect the real ones that are still in hiding.
Oh, that's so cool. That's such a cool way to end the series.
It's really smart, and I'll tell you what, those last 4 books are hard to read because it's so much more serious, so much more dire, but it really sticks to the ending. It's really a great way of doing it. So it really is a recommend if you want an alternate history of How to Train Your Dragon. And it is very much an alternate history. It is a very different world. You'll see some familiar faces. Astrid's there, but we call her Kamikaze. And she's far more feral. Kamikaze
is the name.
Kamikaze is so much more superior to Astrid in every single way. You will see Alvin the Treacherous from the TV series. He's far more dangerous. And his mother is straight out of a nightmare.
Oh, God.
Toothless is weird.
He's so tiny.
If you have read X-Men, especially in the 80s, and you've seen Kitty Pryde's little purple dragon Lockheed, that's who I kept imagining. But Toothless talks. In fact, Hiccup's one of the only people that knows the dragon language. So you hear Toothless talk about himself, and Toothless is one of the lost things, and the best one. And it's really good. I read I'd say 70% of this, listening to the audiobooks, which are voiced by David Tennant. And he really is, he's actually more the voice of Toothless than he is the voice of Doctor Who. It's so fundamental. It's so definitive. So I kind of wanted to just bring that up again because it came back on us. Okay, so that is like everything
We
from
talked
our
about
weekend.
a lot.
There's a reason why it took 2 weeks of podcasts to cover everything here. So we'll get you back to your regularly scheduled program next week.
Yes, we'll be back next week for the regularly scheduled. Until then, we'll see you guys next time. Bye!